Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Friday the 8th of December 2023. We'll be breaking down short and the exact zones where price will close both potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Thursday, now the daily has been extremely bearish as we can see. The weekly, just the daily candle on its own, that's a drop of more than 620 pip move down. And looking at the weekly is also bearish, and this is actually really interesting because looking at the weekly broke below this weekly support and made the low around 178,490. But now the weekly is starting to retrace, and it will be interesting whether we'll see the weekly candle closing just above this weekly support, maybe then see the following weekly candle to form a support to retest this high again. Or are we going to see a weekly candle closing below 184.60 and then maybe see a continuation to the downside to fill these rejection wicks and fill this clean candle on the weekly time frame? So now to break down the chart and looking at the daily obviously is extremely bearish and now it's retracing, dropping down to the 4 hour time frame, and we haven't got any recent 4 hour support. So for that case, what we're going to do is we're going to drop down directly to the hourly time frame. And now in the hourly time frame, what do we see? We have the most recent 1 hour support formed around 180,490. Most recent 4 hour resistance, hourly resistance, sorry, that's formed all the way up to 182,310. Drop it down to the 5-minute time frame. We have a similar level of support. We have a similar level of resistance as well. Looking at the 15-minute time frame as well, we have a similar level of support, but we have this recent 15-minute resistance. So now to identify the no trade zone, and I'd say potential buys could possibly be, I would say, above 181,730, above this 15-minute resistance. Potential sells, however, we could look for sells as price breaking close below 180,540, below this hourly support, and this is going to be the no trade zone. And yeah, this is a really big range as a no trade zone, but unfortunately, because of the volume we've had, we need to have a no trade zone that would make sense based on price action and how the support and resistance is forming. And now to look for potential buys, and going back to the daily. So the first thing we can identify here is look for any retracement to retest a previous support. So the first thing we can see, looking at the weekly, we have these weekly rejections on the left. Looking at the daily time frame, however, we have this previous daily support formed around 183,410. Dropping down to the 4 hour time frame, we have clean traffic on the left. Let's have a look on the this price action here. What do we see? We have this previous 4 hour support around 182,970. Drop it down to the hourly time frame and zooming in, and what do we see? We have this 1 hour resistance around 182,370. Drop it down to the 5-minute time frame. Now it gets a little bit messy because that's where price started to consolidate on the 5-minute time frame. I would say the first target for buys could potentially be 182,370, targeting this hourly resistance. The second target for buys, now again, what we're going to do, we're going to identify this daily support on the left, drop it down to the 4 hour time frame and looking on the left as well, and we have this 4 hour previous support formed around 182,990. I'd say the second target for buys could potentially be 182,990, targeting the previous 4 hour support since we have clean traffic on this area. So now to look for potential sells, and going back to the daily. The first thing we can identify on a daily is we have a daily low that was formed on Thursday. Now looking at the, let's have a look on the monthly. Anything to identify? Not really, apart from a rejection. Looking at the weekly, this is obviously a weekly rejection area, but we have this previous weekly support that's within range. Anyways, looking at the daily time frame, however, we can't really see anything because apart from this daily support, which is a really tight range, let's have a look on the 4 hour time frame. Again, as we can see, this is just a rejection that happened to be within a 15-minute candle, and that was roughly around almost 200 pip retracement within the 15-minute candle. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look on the left on the 4 hour time frame, and what do we see? We have this previous 4 hour support around 179,650. Drop it down to the hourly. What do we see again? We have an hourly support. I would say the first target for sells could potentially be 179,650, targeting this previous 4 hour support. The second target for sells, now we do have this daily rejection, and we're not really expecting for price to retest this daily rejection because that's a big range. But what we do expect, however, is maybe another retest on the low time frame on the left. Let's have a look. So what we do see here is we have this previous 4-hour support. Let's have a look on the hourly time frame. Again, what do we see? We have a previous 1-hour support around 178.820. So I'd say the second target for sells could potentially be 178.820, targeting the hourly support formed on the 16th of June 2023.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.